What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Zees Political Couch, the home of unapologetical, raw geopolitic analysis. Today, we're diving into a firestorm of a debate that pits Cenk against Mosab. They're locking horns over the killing of Yahya Sinwar, the mastermind behind October 7th, and basically what it means to the ongoing carnage in Gaza and what's next. Now, Cenk pulls no punches here, ripping apart the Israeli propaganda machine and exposing its colonial land-grabbing agenda. Meanwhile, Mosab, you won't believe this, is siding with the oppressors, using dangerous rhetoric that justifies war crimes. Oh, and Piers Morgan? He tries to keep it neutral, but leans pro-Israel, letting biases slip through the crack. Let's follow along, as this is going to get pretty heated and interesting further on. Let's dive in.
What I was struck by Sinwar's death was that he was hiding in Rafah, which is the very place that Israel have been urged by everyone, including yourself, not to go and attack, not to go into. And yet there is the head of Hamas, there is the person who ordered October the 7th. He's there. Does that not justify Israel's strategy in going in there?
No, not at all. I'm going to answer that in a second, Piers. But you asked a really important question about does the end of Yahya Sinwar and Hassan Nasrallah mean that this should come to a close? That's the central question. And here, they have no more targets left. All of Hamas leaders are dead. All of Hezbollah's leaders are dead. In fact, Israel just bragged that they killed the whole new set of leadership of Hezbollah. So if all the leadership is dead, what are we still doing in Gaza? What are we still doing in southern Lebanon? And so the minute they move those settlers into Gaza, you'll know for sure that this had nothing to do with self-defense. All of it was an excuse to steal more Arab land. So let's be absolutely clear about that. So in terms of Sinwar being in Rafah and this whole Israeli propaganda about, oh my God, they use the civilians as human shields. First of all, we found out and reported by both Israeli and American press that the Israeli soldiers literally use Palestinians, including children, as human shields that they put in front of them to do the booby trap thing that Mossad just explained. It's Israel that did that in this war and in earlier battles. They shoot, according to 100 American doctors that returned, they're shooting the Palestinian children in the head. An extraordinary amount of headshots. They burned them alive, and now they're starving them in northern Gaza. So this had nothing to do with, oh my God, we're going to get Yahya Sinwar. In fact, the Israeli intelligence is excellent. As you can see, they blew up the walkie-talkies, the pagers, etc. They knew where Sinwar was the whole time. It was an accident, as Mossad just explained, because they didn't want to kill him. Because he was an excuse. The hostage deal has been on the table since July 2nd. Israel's not taking it. Why? They want to use it as an excuse to absolutely annihilate northern Gaza and retake it. They're doing this past weekend, Netanyahu's party, Likud, did a seminar on how to resettle Gaza. This is all about grabbing land. It is a colonial war of conquest where Israel is Goliath and crushing the defenseless Palestinians and Lebanese so they can grab more of their land.
If after 9/11, America had discovered that bin Laden was hiding in a particular place, as they did many, many years later, but had they discovered it within a year, and they had attacked that place and taken him out, then most people would have said that was reasonable, responsive military action, wouldn't they? What's the difference morally between? Well, I mean, just to be clear, nobody disputes that Sinwar orchestrated and ordered October the 7th. So if he is the mastermind behind this heinous terror attack, then using the parallel of 9/11, is that not just justification? If that had been bin Laden, would anyone be having too many moral qualms about going after him and killing him?
No, Piers is a great example, but I reject your framing. So let me explain. So bin Laden we did get, and how did we get him? We got him through special forces. And if you remember, a year ago when I was on this program, you said, what should Israel do? And I said, special forces. Why? It's more concentrated. Does it put the special forces more at risk? Yes. Is that the point of special forces? Yes. That is what a moral, decent government does. And we got bin Laden without killing too many civilians at all. And in fact, about a month into the Afghanistan war, we had bin Laden cornered in Tora Bora, but the Bush administration turned down the request to go after him when there were no civilians around. Instead, they decided to launch the war in Iraq and kill hundreds of thousands of civilians. So Rumsfeld, Cheney, Bush, they're all war criminals, and Netanyahu is a massive war criminal. So now when you turn to Sinwar, look, nobody's shedding a tear for Yahya Sinwar. He orchestrated October 7th. You're right. Okay, so, but why did they not know where he was, and a group of trainees accidentally wandered into him when Israeli intelligence knows everything with microscopic detail, and they accidentally missed the largest attack on Israel on October 7th? Those guys who know everything and where everyone is, they knew exactly where Hassan Nasrallah was, they knew exactly where the leadership was, but golly gee, we missed October 7th, and golly gee, we missed Yahya Sinwar, and instead we killed 42,000 people in Gaza.
Cenk dismantled the tired justification that Sinwar's death somehow validates Israel's actions in Gaza. He's hammering home the point that if Israel's intelligence is so precise, why did they kill thousands of women and children to get there? That's not just collateral damage, it's state-sponsored terror under the guise of self-defense. This is a devastating blow to Mosab's defense. Israel's intelligence is either laughably incompetent, or they're deliberately using Sinwar as an excuse to commit war crimes. I bet it's the second one.
Over 30,000 women and children, and then they've now killed over 2,000 in Lebanon. And they're saying, oh, we're not the terrorists Yahya Sinwar is because we accidentally killed 30,000 women and children, slaughtered them, and oftentimes with headshots. So, Piers, let me ask you something. If it's legitimate to kill over 30,000 civilians while you're trying to get one terrorist, and Netanyahu's 30, 40 times the terrorist Sinwar is, by your logic, you're saying it's okay to kill 30, 40,000 innocent Israelis just to get Netanyahu?
No, I would throw back at you a different question, which is how many people did the Allies, including obviously led by America, but also UK troops and others, how many did they kill in Afghanistan before they ended up killing bin Laden?
Okay, if we're doing this kind of framing, how about the French resistance? Do you know that the Nazis called them civilian, called them terrorists, and said that they were using human shields? And they were saying, how dare they attack the Germans who were just doing self-defense? The French resistance is shamelessly hiding among the French civilians, and they're terrorists.
So is Cenk standing tall against the absurdities of Mosab Yousef's defense arguments? The debate highlights Israel's actions in Gaza aren't about self-defense. They're about colonial, imperial domination. And Mosab, he's the perfect mouthpiece for their propaganda. Wouldn't you say? Let us know down in the comments. This is Zees Political Couch. We cut through the noise and tell it how it is. If you're tired of the sugar-coated narratives, smash the like button, subscribe, and stay tuned for more unfiltered, no-holds-barred analysis and breakdowns. Catch you next time.